Alright, what's up, guys? Let's break down the last week we had here on MEQ, and we'll jump into MES and MGC after that. So, we all know that MEQ and MES had a crazy melt. So did gold at the end of the week. Beginning of the week was able to push us up and make a new all time high. End of the week came and melted from that high. I was originally targeting this bullish imbalance here for this week low to hit and take off from there, and it did. That was a few weeks ago, right? Obviously. So now we're coming right back down to that area, 28,000 or 2,800. Sorry, 28,800. 28,000 area even could definitely hit, which would just be fully mitigating this weekly imbalance here. So I'm just expecting this to most likely continue and see if we can find a floor here at some point. You see I have this big Fibonacci here just from this low to this high now. And I'm just having this here just in case price does come down to, if it does come down to past this 0.382 fib, we have this zero point 0.5 fib here lining up with this imbalance, the 0.618 lining up with the middle of this imbalance perfectly. So it's looking like if we do end up having a few weeks of selling here, this is where we will return to, high 24s, low 25s, just coming correct down from the 30Ks. You can see that I had a target from a fib here too, which is just from when I plotted on this low down here. All right, this low down here to this high right here. And then we came and pulled back to the 0.382 perfectly, which lined up with this bullish imbalance here. And then what do we do from there? We took off. And then almost as soon as we took out the 0.27 target, we took it out here, pulled back. This is when we respected that weekly imbalance, continued, and then had a big rejection. So I think we're either going to respect this area again, or if we have the momentum to break through, we're going to come back down to like the top of these highs, you know what I mean? Which is also this imbalance and this Fibonacci target, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I think is likely to happen. I've had a couple of people ask me, do you think this is like the beginning of like a real sell-off for everything? And I don't really, because we've had sell-offs before, kind of like this. This was just one of the biggest days. Once I like scale in a little bit, you'll see. But we've had many red months, recently, even within like the past couple years. So I can see this just being a correction for sure, and then we continue up at some point here, because this is not done trending. This is not done creating all-time highs. Like it's just a news reaction, basically. Hit kind of like a key psychological price, 30,000. It was playing around for a little bit after that. Let's scale into the daily. Actually, as soon as it hit all-time high, it started to melt. Watch. So I have these not indicators, just vertical lines separating, just kind of like breaking up each week. So it's kind of like a little more blocked up. You can see kind of, okay, this was this week, this was this week, this is what happened this week. So clearly been uptrending forever. Biggest pullback we've had in a minute. I still want to see us hold above this area though, because we really haven't came and tapped into this 28,400. fair value gap right here. Even though it has been tapped into right here once, it never really came and got actually mitigated into. Same with this right here. I think there's still a gap on the lower time frames. A gap in price, not like a fair value gap. This line is just the bottom of that weekly fair value gap. So we could come and bounce right off of this area. There's the Fibonacci 0.382. Let's go to the 4 hour. So we have order block here. Price always likes to play around right above the order block before it comes and actually taps into it. And it'll usually be an impulsive move off of it. So I'm just kind of looking at this area for a potential move. 28,500 kind of. See if we get a bounce off of that. Anything below this, we're going to come probably most likely down to 28K and lower, maybe. But I would like to see, you can see we have some support here. Would like to see this hold, maybe just like I said, a wick into this and then a big reaction off of it. That would be the most ideal thing for this just to keep continuing, but it could also keep melting, and we'll just have to adapt and adjust if it does. Anything under 28,000 though, for sure, I want to see some more sells. Because that will technically be this low getting change of character right here. Because anything under this, like say we break it below this and we pull back to like a fair value gap and then continue down, that will just kind of signify a change of character, at least on 4 hours a higher time frame, but it's not like the daily or something yet. Go back to the weekly. We still have a lot of imbalances here on the weekly that we haven't touched, right? This one. So anything under 28, we're going to probably be targeting these weekly imbalances here. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I put this fib right here to kind of see what also lines up with the imbalances, so we can have multiple confluences in this area for why price would come down to here or be attracted to this area. Let's go down to the 45. So we caught some of this on Friday, me and Star Fox. It was kind of what's the word for it? Spontaneous. I was trying to originally catch some buys off of this 29,800 area, but it wasn't giving it to us. It was just the momentum was just looking so bearish, so we just ended up jumping into a sell with like a very low time frame confirmation. Ended up riding it for about 300 points, and then it ran another 400 on us or something like that. Ran it from like 29.9-ish to like 29.4, and then it ran another 600 points. Insane. So let's see if we got all this. We had all of these session lows here that were untapped. Here was the gap in price that I was talking about. Got completely smashed through, right? All of these session lows here getting filled. We had an order block here that already got tapped, but this is where we kind of came to and stopped on Friday. So we'll see how we react once we open up here in 4 minutes. But I'll let that do its thing while I go and explain MES in a minute here. MES is basically the same thing. Like I said in the prior week, I didn't trade it along with MNQ much this week, just because I was kind of more focused on what MNQ was doing. I kind of wish I would have, though, because I definitely could have got a couple extra dollars just catching MES moved along with some of this, sold MES off with MNQ, anything like that, um, just because they correlate. So we still have some lows here that we can get hit. We still have a bunch of session lows, obviously, you know what I'm saying? It's just because of how we've been uptrending with MNQ. We've been leaving all of these session lows to get hit, or not get hit. Well, maybe in the future, obviously, that's why I leave them there, because eventually they should come and get filled. Um, so once we find a floor and start to show that we want to turn around on like the 15 and a little higher, and not just like the 5, we start getting some IFVGs on the higher time frames. That's kind of when you'll know we might be starting to buy back up. So let's look at MES real quick. Really sharp drop, almost as sharp as M&Q. My voice is fucked right now, sorry. I was at a concert last night screaming. Um, this looks just like a PO3 to me right here. If you can see it, you can see it. We're accumulating right here right after Asia kill zone, right before London opens, accumulating really hard. Breakout upwards, um, above VWAP, above EMA, and all that. People probably start buying here, maybe just because they're trying to, catch the buys back up or whatever, or are jumping the gun, waiting because they didn't wait for this IFVG to actually inverse, or this fair value gap to IFVG, I should say, and it just ends up clearly rejecting these 4 candles here on the 45-minute, dumping us. So this could be looked at as accumulation, manipulation upwards, and then we eventually, probably on the 15 or the 5 or something, or the 3 at least, IFVG here, which would be our entry confirmation to take this sell down from here. Same thing on M&Q, obviously, but this one just looked way cleaner. Let's see if we can see it on M&Q too, if I missed it. Come on. See, it's not right. It's not really there on M&Q. It's kind of why you want to go and look at M&Q and MES together, because one might show something more than the other. Sometimes, like you might see like some divergence, or you might see one actually playing out and sweeping a high, when NQ doesn't, or something like that. So yeah, you could just kind of use that to your advantage a little bit, because right here we're just clearly like just accumulating, moving left to right. We get like a tiny little wick up, right? But it's not like a clear looking PO3 like MES was looking like. Boom, boom, done. First target was right here, these lows. So you enter around here, it's about 10 points. Really tight little PO3, but it ends up dumping from there. It would have been 200-point play for MES. That's really big. Even this kind of looks like a PO3. We are accumulating, push up, manipulate, going inverse, start to melt from here. Even bigger of a play, 150 or 250 points. Yeah, crazy. Let's look at gold real quick. Now that these things are open, just 3 o'clock, so I have not traded gold, but let's see what it's going to do. I know it melted. I've been looking at it a little bit. I know it melted, obviously. This is kind of looking like a PO3 too, maybe on the lower time frame here. It'll look better. But we're accumulating, pop up, manipulate, don't quite take this high, and then just melt from there. We'll check it on the 15, see what it looks like. Yeah, we'll see how this starts to move in a second. I'll do the outlook in a second here. Go back to M&Q, see how that opened, if it gapped or anything. We're going to give it a few minutes though. Damn, my voice is fucked, bro. My fault. See, no, I don't want 31.15. Actually, I need to go to the week for. Oh my god. Gotta start over. MES is basically same as MEQ, right? A little bit different movement, but overall same. Gold has been struggling in recent months, ever since the war. Here's the end of February. March begins. Get shit on. End of March. Is that 4,200? A little bit under. Try to push up. Can't make it past this imbalance here at 49. Melt some more. Let's see if we can keep moving down back to the 4,000s. I don't see any reason for gold to buy unless we get some fundamentals changing, man. That's what I've been saying ever since this war started. We need to have an actual treaty, peace treaty or whatever the fuck it is. Open the Strait of Hormuz, all that bullshit, because that is impacting gold, and it is also raising things like the DXY. As you can see, the news is pushing things like DXY up. It's really actually been ranging very heavily for weeks. You can see this, but still slowly trying to make its way up. When is this here? It's 2025, yeah. So here's the start of the war. When gold melted, DXY pushed up. Then it's kind of just been having a struggle ever since then. Let's look at this one now. Yields. Yields just, it's kind of respecting this little pennant kind of thing. Right. See what I'm saying? And we were just up here pretty high, right? 4.7-ish. Wick down, gap down. Started to push down some. Looked like we were going to keep melting. But nope. This most recent week just flew up. That's also what helped push gold down and all that. It's just that drop was largely news related. So you can see Friday, 5 a.m., 4 a.m. actually. That's when it pushed up. So tried to fill this gap that it created. It probably will fill it this week. Maybe. We'll see what happens, but it's likely to happen. So that means we can get a little more selling momentum with our gold and our indices. Let me see. Let's go to MNQ real quick since we're open now. Do the outlook. I think, like I said, I already kind of did the outlook. But, come on. I think if we just hold above 28, I know 28 is really far away. We're $900 away, right? But really, I want to see what is the closest one. Yeah, 28,700, 28,500, really. Anything under that, then it's up to 28K and above. And anything under that, it's just going to keep melting. Am I going to try to catch sales? Potentially. In this type of market here, the only time I'm catching sales is when buys try to push up and get shut down clearly, and we get a clear entry confirmation, which would be a IFVG or something with a nice tight stop loss, just in case, because we know how NASDAQ likes to react and likes to buy. But if we're clearly trending downwards like this, especially on a lower time frame and respecting imbalances, then that's how you know to sell. But look at a lot of times these imbalances will break and then just still sell. So the other thing you look for is, as long as we stay below our 25 or our 9 EMA, is when you could try to catch a sell. Just know that it's very largely manipulated right now. You see that it's trying to get buyers into the market just to shut it down really hard immediately. Trying to get buyers in just by giving us little IFVGs. That's why I say not every IFVG matters. You can't get tricked or you can't get manipulated with this type of price action just to enter wherever you see a IFVG or some shit like that. Because even if it breaks and shows that it's going to hold, it could still just fucking melt on you. It's after a sweep and everything. It looks perfect, right? But it's just everything else, just price action and fundamental wise, is not there. And if you look on like the higher time frames, it just looks like it wants to keep going lower, bro. Like it just doesn't look like right there, 29K even was where it was just gonna stop and turn around without like a bunch of a bunch of tests first. That's probably how it's gonna be here. I don't think it's just gonna be nice and easy and nice and smooth. It's gonna take a second. So don't expect it to just pop quick. Like it could take till Wednesday to get up to start moving. Don't go and blow your account tonight. Don't go and blow your account tomorrow trying to test 100,000 buys. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to be patient here at this point. This is why I'm just saying I'm gonna let it see do what it does. I'm not gonna be trying to chase or catch every sell. I'm not gonna be trying to chase or catch every buy. It's just kind of just we waited out a little bit here to see what we're really gonna do, um, and maybe just give it a couple days, to catch the real trade. Because after a melt like that, things are just gonna have to adjust a little bit. Um, so how do we open here on MEQ? No gap opened up. We just got to see if we can stay bullish from one of these support areas. We're at one right now, right? So, you know what I'm saying? If we can stay bullish here for the next few hours, I'm not going to go entering anything right now, but we're just going to see how this reacts off of these areas right here. Remember, the first move often isn't the actual move. Like, say you would have been trying to catch these buys here. Boom, okay, yep, this is the buy, it's going to take off. Nope. Okay, boom, this is the buy, it's going to take off. Nope. Okay, maybe this is the buy, it's going to take off. Nope, we go and actually sweep lower this one. Boom. Once we actually go and take some drawn liquidity, that's when we start to go. Okay, so don't be surprised if we maybe even go and sweep this low here. Or like I said, go and tap into this order block here. Don't be in a trade up here and hold it fucking 500 points type shit. Like, just be okay with being wrong. If you're gonna be wrong, if you're gonna be getting in buys, or if you're gonna be changing on sells, be okay with being wrong with the sell too. Be always just looking at both sides. Like, yes, it's much more bearish momentum now, so we can be looking for sells, but just always remember that we're trading a very volatile, um, index. MEQ loves to buy. MES loves to buy. Kind of also got to be paying attention to news and stuff like that. Not crazy, but maybe just once a day, twice a day. But yeah, we'll see if we can push from here, get back above EMAs. Like I was saying, anything under EMAs is selling. Anything above EMAs just start to change the character a little bit. If we can break above this high right here, this would be a 5-minute change of character. Like this. So say we push up, broke above this, maybe pull back, continue. That would show us, it'd be a good sign that we're going to be buying from here. Let's go look at MEQ, see how we open. And basically, if we just, like I said, if we reject off bearish imbalances, we're just going to keep selling until we find our floor there around those prices I mentioned. So Opened up. Has it done much yet, right? Looking like it wants to buy though. We're above EMAs here on the 1 minute at least. I'll go to 5. So it's looking like it's trying to push up. Opened up, put the low in. Did not quite take out this Asia low here, but did sweep these. Sorry, I got the hiccups now, goddamn. Did sweep these lows. Didn't quite take out these session lows though. So we'll see what we do. Very likely that we continue and come back down here at some point before we actually go up. Like I said, because we're gonna have to take some draw on liquidity probably. It's not just gonna go, I don't believe. Damn, my throat is hurting right now. I've dug through it though for the rest of it. Alright. Gold. Kind of had a whipsaw candle there on the 5 minute. If you don't know what that is, it's kind of just when a candle has a very big high and a very big low, and like a even, like the same even size body as the wick. You know, it's just a whipsaw. It was able to send this price in both directions really quick in this 5 minutes, while also closing kind of like neutral. So yeah, it's a whipsaw. It's really an indecisive candle. So technically we opened, went up, went down, closed bullish, went and shot down, held support at 333, IFVG, trying to push above EMAs, VWAP on the 1 minute, getting above there on the 5 minute. So everything looks like it's trying to hold some support here. Like I said, just always expect lower, a little bit of draw on liquidity, but we could be finding some floors here. So also just watch the higher time frames. We do have sweeps here. For gold, we have no past liquidity from lows, session lows around here, like we do on MES or MQ. So I kind of like this buy for gold here. Actually, we'll see what we do. Like I said, I wouldn't risk too much crazy on it right now, just because could easily come and take these lows. But if we can push up here for Asia, maybe break some of these bearish imbalances, stay above our EMAs when we do pull back, respect off a bullish imbalance to show me, that we're going to continue upwards. That would be cool. Yeah, so like we have some like accumulation here. If we can get above these highs, then we should keep going up. Silver, I'm not really looking at silver. Yep, there goes MES. Like I said, trying to buy. And then let's see, MNQ probably doing the same. Yeah, okay, perfect. So yeah, let's just see how this ends up playing out. If we can try to recover from here, or 28,800. Like I said, there is higher time frame support at this area, but let's see how we actually react here. If we try to move any lower, take any lows here, or if we kind of just push from here, nice and easy. But always expect there to be some bullshit, So I think that's cool for the breakdown and the outlook. We had a huge melt, obviously, so it just is about giving this. If we're still on the buy side, it's just about giving this some time to recover. Like I said, it's probably not going to be immediate, but this was a huge melt, so I'm sure a lot of people are trying to buy this up. I know there are a ton of sellers trying to keep selling this down, but I just don't think it's time yet. I may be wrong, but like I said, I want to see more than just this, because this is just a correction to me, especially when we go and stop at support like this. I just need to give it some more time, see what it ends up really wanting to do for this week. So yeah, it's kind of just in the air right now, but I would love to see it recover because not much has really changed news wise. I don't believe to really reverse us and send us all the way down again. But like I said, look for 28K if we do come down 20 if 28,500 breaks for sure. So yeah, appreciate you tuning in again this week, boys. Let's get it in the chat. We're gonna be on top of it no matter what. Like I said, we did catch this fucking big ass sell here. Honestly, got out because I was trying to. I had it on a couple evals, and I would have fucked up the consistency if I kept holding it. I would have made too much money basically. So I had to jump out and just let it do its thing at some point. Same thing with Star Fox. Shout out Star Fox. He really really called a lot of this sell. Because like I said, I was trying to look for buys here this morning. Caught this buy up, and then it just turned around on me, broke me even. Not broke me even, but stopped me out in profit, a good amount of profit. And then we just had to adjust the sells from here. Took it down, got out around here. Yeah, I know you guys around here. Yeah, because like I said, I would have just made too much if I would have let it go all the way down to like 200 area. So I had to close it a little early. And then it ended up melting another fucking 400 points. So looking like a good recovery here, though. We did sweep these lows here, Asia. Turn around nice. If we can break above this and show that it really wants to turn around, there's that 5-minute chotch. 15-minute chotch too, I guess, would work. Anything above that, then we should get above this 25 EMA here. Maybe see a recovery, so see what we do. We're going to get it either way, like I said, in the chat. So make sure to tune in, boys. Right per minute, let's get it.